Unbelievable rock formations.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Titanic. I'm your host, Alexa. From fairy chimneys in Turkey to the Devil's Tower, let's take a look at some of the coolest rock formations made by Mother Nature herself. Before we get into it, if you're new here, make sure that you're subscribed and ring the bell so that you never miss an upload. Oh, and while I've got you here, let's play a game. Can anyone watching guess what kind of pet I have at home? The answer is coming up later, but write your guesses down below.
Fairy chimneys, Turkey. These strange conical spires are found in the Cappadocia region of Turkey. Several million years ago, active volcanoes spewed volcanic ash that covered the ground. Rainwater and wind eroded the soft, compressed volcanic ash, leaving behind the harder overlaying basalts, forming the fairy chimneys. Aphrodite's Rock, Cyprus. This is one of the most famous spots in Paphos, a coastal city in Cyprus. Its native name means Rock of the Greek. Its popularity is linked with Greek mythology and the belief that Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, was born here. There's a belief that swimming around Aphrodite's rock brings one eternal beauty. Arches National Park, USA. Created from 300-million-year-old salt bed deposits, Arches National Park in Utah is home to over 2,000 beautifully crafted arches. As the salt beds shifted over the years, the superior rock layers began to create domes that were further molded by rain, ice, and wind. The result? The magnificent arches you see today. Moeraki Boulders, New Zealand. Resembling giant turtle shells, these spherical boulders lie strewn on New Zealand's Koe Koe Beach. These boulders started forming in sediments on the seafloor over 60 million years ago. Carbonates built up around a central core, similar to the way pearls form around a speck of grit. According to Maori legends, the boulders are remnants of gourds and eel baskets washed ashore from the wreck of a sailing canoe. Old Hairy Rocks, England. Located about 10 kilometers south of Poole and Bournemouth, these rocks are over 60 million years old, dating from the Cretaceous period. The erosion caused by the constant lapping of the sea means these chalk formations are ever-changing. In fact, this erosion has taken away Old Harry's wife, which has been reduced to a stump, visible only during low tide. This UNESCO World Heritage Site at the end of the Jurassic Coast is simply spectacular. Stone Forest, China. The Stone Forest in China is an amazing sea of towering stone pinnacles that are believed to be over 270 million years old. Some speculate that the area was once an ocean floor and that today's stone structures are actually the rocky results of millions of years of flowing water. Wave Rock, Australia. This concave rock is 14 meters high and 110 meters long. It's part of the northern side of Haydn Rock, a giant granite outcrop over 2.7 billion years old located in Haydn Wildlife Park in Western Australia. The wave is believed to have been formed by the action of running water on granite. The colorful streaks on its face are made of minerals left behind by the rainwater runoff. The Arbol de Piedra, Bolivia. The Arbol de Piedra is another stunning example of geological erosion. Over millennia, strong winds have rendered this volcanic formation thin at its base. Situated in the Desierto Seloli in Bolivia, about 4,600 meters above sea level, the uniqueness of this isolated rock lies in its resemblance with a stunted tree. White Desert, Egypt. Situated north of the Farafra Oasis in the western desert of Egypt, the White Desert is populated with chalk rock formations that have formed following occasional sandstorms. Mount Tai's Immortal Bridge, China. Believed to be from the Ice Age, the rock formation on Mount Tai in the Shandong province of China is composed of 3 huge boulders and several smaller ones. Mount Tai is a sacred mountain in China. Perhaps the sacred connection led to this amazing formation being named the Immortal Bridge. Devil's Tower. Also known as Bear's Lodge, Devil's Tower is America's first national monument and a sacred site to many Native Americans. Devil's Tower was formed approximately 60 million years ago during a volcanic eruption. When the molten lava released during the eruption eventually cooled, it shaped the basalt columns. Table Mountain. This is Table Mountain, an epic rock formation that's over 3.5 million years old. The top-level plateau, giving it a flat tabletop shape, is an impressive 3 kilometers in width and is flanked by the equally impressive Devil's Peak and Lion's Head Mountains. Once the playground to lions and leopards, the mountain is now a fascinating tourist attraction, and visitors can hike up to the top or climb aboard the cable car. Pearce Rock, Canada. Formed of limestone and shale, the reddish-colored rock is a major tourist attraction in Quebec. The stone is one of the famous metamorphic rock formations and weighs 5 million tons. Located in the middle of the sea, the 400-million-year-old rock formation looks like a lobster claw today. You can reach the rock by a ferry, but it's only for sightseeing. Kannesteinen, Norway. Supported by a narrow trunk, this huge stone is located in high water near the village of Oppedal in Norway. This giant mushroom-like rock clocks in at 3 meters tall and is thousands of years old. It was formed artistically by the might of the sea, which eroded some parts of it to give it a spectacular shape. Queen's Head, Taiwan. Located in Yelia Geopark, Taiwan, the Queen's Head is a curious stone monument that has been sculpted by wind and sea erosion. However, the Queen's Head is only one of the many uniquely shaped and named stone monuments in the region, with others including the fairy's shoe, candle, stone heart, bean curd, and the dragon head. Golden Rock, Myanmar. During November to March, the stone is visited by Buddhists since it's a popular pilgrimage site because of a strand of Buddha's hair is believed to be tucked beneath it. But even as worshippers are seen praying to the god, the Golden Rock is an attraction that you just can't ignore. It reflects a gleaming gold color from the painted gold leaves left by Buddhist followers. It also defies all odds by miraculously balancing on the mountain, appearing as though one strong gust of wind will send the huge rock tumbling to the ground. And at the top of the Golden Rock sits a pagoda, whose mind-boggling location has made it one of Myanmar's most important religious destinations. Giant's Causeway. This is another of those fascinating and particularly surreal ancient formations and is found in Northern Ireland. The site is so incredible that it has been listed and protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, comprising more than 40,000 connected basalt columns where only the tops can be seen as they form stepping stones that start at the foot of a cliff and disappear completely under the sea. Caused by an incredible volcanic eruption more than 50 million years ago, some of the columns are more than 12 meters high and more than 28 meters thick in some places. Split Apple Rock. Split Apple Rock has been in existence since the Ice Age. The round-shaped rock has a sharp split in the middle. Although the split has been caused due to expansion and contraction in water, it looks quite scenic. According to local legend, the crack in the rock was formed due to a fight between Zeus and Poseidon. If you're in New Zealand, you must plan a trip to the rock during high tide. Loch Ard Gorge, Australia. Loch Ard was a clipper ship that was wrecked while heading to Melbourne from England in 1878. The ill-fated ship had 54 passengers and crew, out of which only 2 survived. Both survivors washed into a cave, now known as Loch Ard Gorge. It's a part of the Port Campbell National Park in Victoria, which is popular among tourists for relaxing and swimming. However, erosion is taking place even now at this southwestern coastal landmark. As a result of erosion, one of the massive limestone arches at Loch Ard Gorge collapsed in June of 2009. The resulting pillars are now known as Tom and Ava, after Tom Pierce and Ava Carmichael, the 2 passengers who survived. Spider Rock, Arizona. Canyon de Chelly in the US is already a great trip to make, but it gets better when you realize you'll be able to view a stone spire that rises up 229 meters and seems to defy gravity. About 40 Navajo families still live in the valley, and you need to book a guided tour to head through the park. Nanya Rock Area, Taiwan. It's a half-day trip to add to your schedule when traveling in Taiwan, but it will be so worth it. The rocks have rightfully earned the nickname Nanya Peculiar Rocks. The rocks have formed because of thousands of years of erosion and weathering and look like giant ice cream cones sticking out from the ground. Mesa Arch, USA. Classed as a pothole arch, Mesa Arch is found in Canyonlands National Park. If this image looks vaguely familiar, it's because it used to be one of the screensavers for Windows 7 in the landscape section, for those of us who remember. Uluru, Australia. One of the most recognized rocks in the world is Ayers Rock, or Uluru Rock, which is the Aboriginal name. It's been around for 600 million years and is a World Heritage Site. Hard to believe that it used to lie at the bottom of the sea, but now stands 348 meters above ground. The rock is made up of many layers of coarse sandstone, known as arkose. The rock is known to change color depending on the sun, and stargazing here is unreal. Don't be caught by the Uluru curse, though, as anyone who has ever stolen a piece of the rock formation has had bad luck follow them, and they inevitably post the piece back. The returned rocks have earned the nickname Sorry Rocks. Turtle Rock, Mongolia. It's easy to see how this interesting rock formation got its name. It's because it looks like a turtle. It's a granitic formation that reaches 24 meters high. It's a fabulous photo opportunity, and once you've got your image, you can actually rent horses and enjoy the scenery on horseback. There is another formation to look out for if you're on the road leading to this one. It's called the Old Man Reading. Bungle Bungle Range, Australia. Located in the Purnululu National Park in Western Australia, this intriguing rock formation is unique in that it has orange and gray stripes running through the sandstone domes. The domes are roughly 578 meters above sea level. The orange bands are made up of a thin layer of ferrous oxide, and the gray bands are caused by a cyanobacterium, which grows wherever there's moisture.
Before we get to number 1, remember when I asked you to guess my pet? Well, she's a Persian cat, and she's 4 years old. What kind of pets do you guys have at home? Let me know in the comments down below.
1. Monument Valley, Utah. Made famous through several Hollywood films, Monument Valley, also called Valley of the Rocks, has sandstone hills dotted across the landscape. It's a typical scene for an American Western film. The hills are around 300 meters tall, and the red color of the landscape is due to iron oxide, and the darker gray color comes from manganese oxide.